What's good? This is Trey with Legit Game coming to you with this video. This is should you have a wingman or approach women by yourself? All right, so let's use this specific picture right here as an example. Right, you see a woman in a coffee shop and she's drinking coffee and eating breakfast, right? In a situation like that, like this, you wouldn't need a wingman, right? It's one woman, she's eating, you just approach her and you do your thing. You don't need a wingman, right? Now, in another situation, let's say there's two women. If you have a wingman and your wingman, you want it to be someone who actually will benefit you, right? Because if you're going to approach two women and your wingman is super socially awkward, or he's just not confident with women, or he gets really nervous around women, and you know that you're more confident in him and you're more capable of interacting with those two women by yourself, then it would probably go better by yourself than it would go with your wingman. Then in a case like that, no, you should still approach, even though there's two women, you should still approach by yourself. It doesn't make sense to have a wingman. The whole idea of a wingman is for you to benefit from that person coming into the interaction. So if your wingman is not going to benefit you, then it doesn't make sense to have a wingman, right? Now, if you're in a different situation where you have a wingman who's, very socially calibrated, and he's a fun guy to be around, and he just brings value to interactions, then yeah, that's a wingman you should want to have around, and you should take advantage of it because it's going to help you achieve your goal, which is interacting with women, having good interactions with women and picking them up. And a good wingman will help you more so in situations where there's more than one woman. So there's two women, three women, four women, right? It's nice to have a wingman, somebody else there to help you keep up the energy of the interaction, and, basically keep everybody amused, or at least interested in what you have to say. So it's good to have a wingman in the sense of if he's going to benefit you. Now, one thing you need to watch out for is a lot of guys, when they get into the whole picking up women thing, they feel like they always need a wingman, or they always need someone to be there with them when they go out and approach women. And what I notice is if you go out and approach women in bars or wherever you go, and you always have someone with you, meaning you always have a wingman or some guy to help you out, you become dependent on the idea of having someone there with you. So let's say you go to a bar club by yourself, you're going to struggle mentally and emotionally because it won't be the same situation, because now you're out there by yourself. You don't have a wingman to rely on, and therefore that wingman becomes a crutch. And if you don't have your crutch, you cannot, take action or handle the situation the way that you should, because you don't have, that person there to help you out. So you want to make sure that you are able to approach and interact with women by yourself first, right? So if you're new to the game and you're just starting out, going out to clubs and approaching women, or approaching women in a day or whatever, you want to start out by yourself, right? And you don't have to go crazy with it. You can start off by just saying hello to women, by asking for directions, by, having regular conversations. You don't have to pick them up right away, because you have to get comfortable with the idea of having women around, or being around women and interacting with them. And then, after you have some form of comfort approaching women by yourself, then it's cool to bring a wingman, out with you, sometimes. But you don't want it to become a crutch. You don't want it to be something where it's like you can't go out unless you have a wingman. Because there's some men that I know who are like that. They will not go out to a club or go out to pick up women unless they have some other person there with them, some other guy helping them out, a wingman. Me personally, I saw myself fall into this trap before, and I made sure that I didn't, fall into it, but basically when I used to go out and pick up women, I used to have like somebody who I'd always go out with. And when that person left, it's almost like I lost my ability. It's like my mindset wasn't as strong and my emotional toughness wasn't there. And it wasn't so much that I wasn't mentally tough or I wasn't emotionally strong. It's because I was so used to having a wingman that when that wingman left, I felt like mentally, I felt like it was more difficult, right? And it was more emotionally, it was tougher emotionally for me because I didn't have somebody else there to rely on to help me keep my energy up or help me stay positive. You know what I mean? So I realized, okay, that's a problem. You have to be able to, anything in life, you have to be able to depend on yourself. It's good to have other people that you can depend on, but you have to be self-reliant. You have to be able to do what you got to do, whether you have a wingman there or a friend there or not, because it's your life. You know what I mean? It's your life. So whatever you want, you should be able to go and get it yourself. Okay. So the same thing when it comes to picking up women, it's like, you can't be depending on another man or a wingman to help you get the job done. So when it comes to should you have a wingman when you go out or not, I say, yeah, it's cool to have a wingman. There's nothing wrong with having a wingman, especially if you guys are on the same, wavelength, meaning, you both benefit each other when you go and approach women. But if it's a situation where the wingman is holding you back or he makes the situation worse or you're dependent on him, then you have an issue. A wingman should be like the icing on the cake or, just like a bonus to the situation. It shouldn't be a huge part of your success, right? If you're achieving success because you have a wingman, and as soon as the wingman leaves you're unsuccessful, that's a problem, right? The whole point of wingman is just to make things go a little bit smoother, maybe take off some of the pressure of you having to entertain a group of women. But you should be able to do it on your own too, though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, yeah, it's cool to have a wingman, but you should be able to handle any situation on your own, because at the end of the day, you only have yourself, right? If that person leaves the city, leaves the state, or that person dies or whatever happens, are you telling me, oh, that person is out of the situation now, so now you can't pick up women anymore? So yeah, so that's something you have to think about. Don't be dependent on a wingman. And then also the type of wingman that you're with, it should be beneficial. If it's making the situation worse, if he's negative, if he just doesn't have enough game to really give you any sort of support, then it's just what's the point? Unless you're like coaching him or something, and that's a different story. It's not really so much a wingman. It's more so like, a student or a protege or something. All right. So that's the advice. I hope this video was helpful. If you want more free tips and advice on how to pick up women, go to legitgame.com or hit me up on facebook.com/TheRealTreyMorgan. Thanks for watching. Peace.